The desert groaned beneath the weight of empire. From the horizon came the march of Rome, 12 onagers grinding forward like beasts of thunder, their crews chanting to Vulcan as ropes strained and metal screamed. Behind them, 25 companies of Praetorian Guard moved as a single living wall. Bronze, discipline, and death bound in perfect step. To the flanks, 8 wings of Praetorian cavalry rippled through the dunes, their crimson plumes slashing the wind, their horses armored and restless beneath the sun. At the head rode Marcus Agrippa, Rome's iron hand, his gaze fixed on the pyramids ahead, monuments of kings long dead, now witnesses to their empire's final dusk. The banners of Rome snapped in the scorching air, the eagle alight against the burning sky. And in that moment, beneath the unblinking sun, the world held its breath, for the gods themselves knew that history was about to bleed. Agrippa raised his hand, and the world obeyed. A signal horn split the air, its cry rolling across the dunes like the voice of Mars himself. The 12 onagers roared in unison, flinging fire and stone toward the Egyptian lines. The first impact turned sand to glass. The second tore through shields and men alike. The desert trembled. From behind their shields, the Praetorian Guard surged forward, shields locked, blades gleaming, their march a relentless tide of iron devouring the light. The cavalry broke from the flanks like unleashed thunder, their lances leveled, the sound of hooves drowning even the screams. Agrippa rode among them, his crimson cloak a banner of death, his voice cutting through the storm. For Rome. The pyramids loomed in the smoke, ancient gods watching as the legions of men wrote their defiance in blood and fire. The sands, once golden, ran red. The war for Egypt had begun. The desert erupted in fury. The Praetorian Guard charged, their formation breaking into a sprint that shook the sands beneath them. Spears met shields, bronze clashed against linen and flesh. The sun vanished behind clouds of dust and ash as Rome's finest carved their way through the Egyptian line, silent, merciless, unstoppable. Every strike was a sermon, every kill a verse in the gospel of conquest. The desert howled with the sound of steel. To the west, the Praetorian cavalry thundered into battle. Egyptian riders met them head-on, lances shattering, horses screaming, men thrown skyward like broken idols. The clash was pure chaos, banners torn, blades flashing, armor shattering in a storm of sand. Amid the carnage, Agrippa rode the line, his sword flashing red with the blood of kings. Under the burning sun, destiny itself screamed, and neither side would yield. The desert became a graveyard. The Egyptian line buckled beneath the fury of Rome, their ranks torn apart by shield and steel. Praetorian blades rose and fell in rhythm, cutting through flesh and cloth, as if the gods themselves guided every strike. The air was thick with the stench of blood and smoke. Cries of the dying mingled with the war horns of victory. The sand, once golden, now ran crimson, soaked with the fall of an empire. Bodies littered the dunes, their banners trampled beneath iron boots. Horses, maddened by fire and blood, tore free of their reins, galloping wildly across the field, dragging shattered chariots and slain masters behind them. The pyramids loomed above it all, silent and eternal, watching as Rome turned Egypt's pride into ruin. Amid the carnage rode Agrippa, his armor scorched and gleaming, his eyes cold as marble. For him, this was not conquest, it was destiny fulfilled. The Roman legions advanced like a machine forged by the gods themselves, focused, meticulous, brutally efficient. Their ranks moved in perfect harmony, shields locked, blades thrusting with mechanical precision. One Egyptian company after another fell before them, swallowed whole by the relentless tide of iron and discipline. No mercy, no hesitation, only the methodical destruction that marked the will of Rome. Agrippa rode behind the front, his voice calm amid the storm, commanding with the certainty of fate. The Praetorians obeyed without question, tightening formations, pressing forward, grinding the enemy into the sand. The cries of the Egyptians faded into the roar of Roman victory, their resistance shattered beneath the weight of perfection. The desert itself seemed to bow, as if it knew. The age of the pharaohs had ended, and the era of Rome had begun. Those who weren't cut down fled in sheer panic, their cries carried on the desert wind. Shields were cast aside, spears abandoned, pride forgotten. The discipline that once held the Egyptian line shattered like clay before the hammer of Rome. The few who stood their ground did so blindly, unaware of the doom racing toward them, the shadow of Praetorian cavalry cresting the dunes. With a thunderous roar, Rome's horsemen descended, lances leveled, cutting through the last of Egypt's riders. The Egyptian cavalry broke, scattering across the sands in terror as Roman steel carved through man and beast alike. The horizon burned, chariots overturned, banners trampled, the air thick with smoke and fear. Behind them, the legions advanced without pause, their march as steady as fate itself. The desert was no longer Egypt's home. It belonged to Rome,